Do you remember when Pearl Harbor happened? How old were you?
I was setting pins in a bowling alley in Hastings, Minnesota, which was 10 miles down the road that I hitchhiked to every Friday and Saturday night. And they had what was called a pin setter's shack, a little room in the back upstairs. And I was sitting there all alone when President Roosevelt announced Pearl Harbor.
How old were you?
16.
Did you know what that meant at that time as a 16-year-old kid?
Nobody knew what Pearl Harbor was. No, it was completely, nobody knew what Pearl Harbor was.
Were you in school at the time?
Sure.
You went back to school. What was the talk the next day or on Monday? I guess it was on a Sunday, so it would have been the next day.
Yeah, it was terribly confusing because, again, nobody had any idea that the Japanese had that big a fleet to start with. And the United States had that little effort to protect themselves. And when you see the numbers, and later after the war, when I went over there and saw the sunken ships, you get a lot more appreciation. In fact, I stopped there on my way to Okinawa and on a troop ship. And there were so many sunken ships along the cement walls that we had to anchor out about a mile and a half.
When did you know you were going to? Tell me about the enlistment process. Did you just go to school the next day and say, "Well"?
No. I didn't finish my senior year in high school because money was a big, difficult problem with mother. And I ended up, a friend of mine was a traveling auditor for Montgomery Wards and invited me to drive with him from Chicago to Los Angeles in January of 1943. So I turned 18 on the 4th of March. And in June, I jumped in my Model A and drove all the way back home to Minnesota and enlisted in the Navy.
What made you pick the Navy?
Well, on the way back, I saw all the Marines and the Army guys out in the deserts dragging along, and I didn't want any part of that. And unfortunately, now believe me now, I ended up in the Marine Corps. I was a Navy medic attached to the 1st Marine Division.
Did you have any say in that, or they just say you over here?
No. I have no idea. How did they decide that I would be applicable to the medical corps school in San Diego? I have no idea. And then when
what do they teach? So it's 1940 early, right? You're a medical corpsman.
43.
Okay. So what do they? I mean, what kind of stuff do they teach you?
It was a 12-week course crammed into 8. Start there, and all you had was a bag with your medications and stuff in it, mostly morphine and bandages. And this was at Balboa Park in San Diego, site of the 1932 World's Fair. And it was all converted into a medical corps school. When we left,
how many guys were you with at that time? Do you know?
Oh, there was probably 100, 125 of us.
So you're an 18-year-old kid, and they say, congratulations, you're now going to be on the field of battle, helping fix up soldiers to get them back home. Is that right? Okay. And what, they say triage. Is that what you were taught?
Well, we didn't know the word back then.
But they tell you?
I was a very lucky man. In the whole process, I never went into combat. I ended up working in the division surgeon's office because they found out I could type. So it was a blessing in disguise.